In 2007, Steve Jobs stood on a stage and introduced the iPhone. One model, one color, one storage option. You either wanted the future or you didn't. Today, navigating the iPhone ecosystem is like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube in the dark. Apple's current matrix spans 7 distinct levels of hardware, processing power, and status symbols, running from a refurbished $200 relic to a $1,600 handheld workstation. They all run iOS, they all send blue texts, but they are completely different psychological traps. Apple doesn't just sell phones anymore, they sell a ladder. And if you don't know which rung you're stepping on, you are guaranteed to overpay for features you'll never use, or underpay for a phone that will feel obsolete in 12 months. Let's dissect the 7 levels of the iPhone ladder. Level 1, the immortal relic, iPhone 11. We start at the absolute floor, the iPhone 11. Released in 2019, this phone has absolutely no right to be as popular as it still is today. You can pick one up refurbished for under $250, and on paper, it looks like the ultimate budget hack. It has a highly capable A13 Bionic chip, a dual camera system that still takes decent daylight photos, and exceptional battery life. But here is the catch Apple won't tell you on any spec sheet: the screen. The iPhone 11 uses an LCD liquid retina display with massive bezels. In a world where even entry-level budget Androids have beautiful ink-black OLED panels, looking at an iPhone 11 display feels like staring into the past. More importantly, it is a 4G-only device. As carriers prioritize 5G infrastructure, this phone's data speeds are actively degrading. Who buys this? The parent buying a first smartphone for a middle schooler. The gig worker who needs a secondary burner device that can take a beating. It's a functional tool, but it's the absolute bottom of the ladder. Level 2. The Value King. iPhone 13. If you skip the 12 because of its subpar battery life, you land directly on Level 2. The iPhone 13. This is universally recognized by tech insiders as the smartest financial baseline in the entire lineup. The iPhone 13 fixed everything its predecessors got wrong. It brought a smaller notch, a dramatically brighter OLED display, and a base storage bump to 128 GB. The A15 Bionic chip inside this thing is an absolute tank. It still flies through modern apps without a hint of lag. The honest limitation? Refresh rate. You are stuck at a rigid 60 Hz. If you've ever scrolled on a modern iPad Pro or a high-end Android, the scrolling on the iPhone 13 will feel slightly choppy. Before we climb into the premium tiers, do me a quick favor and hit subscribe. I don't read off Apple's marketing scripts. I break down how these devices actually perform in your pocket over years of daily use. Join the channel so you don't miss the next breakdown. Level 3. The Premium Pivot. iPhone 14 Pro. This is where Apple fundamentally changed the visual identity of the iPhone. The iPhone 14 Pro introduced the dynamic island, moving away from the notch that defined a generation of hardware. It also brought a 48-megapixel main camera sensor and the always-on display. For the first time, you could look at your phone on a table and see your notifications without lifting a finger. The counterintuitive truth about the 14 Pro is its battery degradation. For reasons Apple has never publicly detailed, the 14 Pro series saw its battery health drop significantly faster than the 13 or the 15 series. If you buy one used today, you are almost guaranteed to need a battery replacement sooner rather than later. Who is here? The buyer who wants the modern dynamic island look and a premium 120 Hz ProMotion screen, but refuses to pay brand new retail prices. Level 4, the modern standard. iPhone 15 Level 4 represents Apple giving in to global pressure. The iPhone 15. The biggest upgrade here isn't a chip or a screen, it's a port. The transition to USB-C meant you could finally charge your MacBook, your iPad, and your iPhone with a single cable. Apple also trickled the dynamic island down to this base model, making the standard iPhone look modern again. But here is the psychological manipulation. The USB-C port on the base iPhone 15 is throttled to USB 2.0 speeds. That means transferring large video files via cable takes just as long as it did with the old Lightning connector. Apple gave you the shape of the future, but kept the speeds of the past. Who buys this? The casual user who upgrades every 3 to 4 years, wants a lightweight phone, and wants to finally throw away their old Lightning cables. Level 5. The AI Gatekeeper. iPhone 16 Pro. This level marks a hard line in the sand. With the iPhone 16 Pro, Apple introduced the physical camera control button, a larger 6.3-inch display with razor-thin bezels, and the A18 Pro chip. But the real reason this phone exists is local architecture. This is the baseline sweet spot for Apple Intelligence. Running large language models locally on a device requires massive amounts of RAM and neural processing power. The 16 Pro handles these workflows effortlessly while sustaining battery life, thanks to a thermal design that uses a graphic-clad chassis to pull heat away from the processor. Who sits here? Content creators who use their phones to shoot 4K ProRes video? Tech early adopters who want full access to Apple's AI ecosystem, and professionals who view their phone as a high-speed productivity tool. Level 6. The Sleek Disruptor. iPhone 17 Level 6 brings us to Apple's newest structural experiment. The redesigned standard iPhone 17. At this tier, Apple completely split the design language. The iPhone 17 shifts away from the heavy industrial footprint of past generations, introducing a vastly slimmer form factor, an upgraded front-facing camera, and a significantly higher refresh rate display on a non-Pro model. The compromise? You lose the dedicated telephoto zoom lens found on the Pro models. Apple bets that you care more about how thin and striking the phone looks in your hand than your ability to zoom in 5x at a concert. Who is this for? The style-focused consumer. The person who wants the absolute latest look, values portability above all else, and doesn't need a heavy triple camera system weighing down their pocket. Level 7. The Workstation Luxury. iPhone 17 Pro Max fully configured. We have reached the top of the ladder. The iPhone 17 Pro Max maxed out to 1 terabyte of storage. This machine is pure overkill. It features a massive, hyper-bright display, an advanced variable zoom camera system, and the absolute highest tier of Apple's A-series silicon. Nobody needs a 1 terabyte iPhone. People buy it for 2 reasons: status or professional utility. The 1 TB configuration exists purely because filming uncompressed ProRes video eats up gigabytes of data in minutes. If you are a filmmaker using an iPhone as a B cam on a movie set, this is a necessary piece of production infrastructure. For anyone else, it's a financial flex. When you look at the iPhone lineup from the 11 to the 17, it's clear that Apple isn't competing with other smartphone brands anymore. They are competing with your sense of identity. The 13 says, "I'm practical." The 16 Pro says, "I need power." The 17 says, "I want the future of design." The specs are just noise. The real question is, which rung of the ladder actually matches your daily life? Let me know in the comments which level you are currently on. Hit subscribe to stay ahead of the curve, and I'll see you in the next video.